Welcome to the new main character, First Class Mage Genau, with the super healthy double of support of a Methode. Except she ends up fighting alone and claiming Frieren's body as hers, while Stark stays back to play his best version of Shonen with Genau. In this episode of Frieren, Season 2, Episode 7, or Episode 35 overall, the Divine Revolte covers part of Chapter 72, The General, Chapter 73, Encounter Battle, and the beginning of Chapter 74, Divine Revolte. Spoiler warning, I cover mostly the manga here on this channel, so I'm going to be talking about these episodes from an up-to-date manga perspective, but stay anyways because you can't help yourself. A big part of this arc is centered around Genau's character development, and those of you out there that struggle with what the right thing to do is. To try to save a kid, or save yourself, knowing that you can save many more by not getting yourself yeeted like we all predicted. The great mage Serie, the goddess of, opens up the episode to tell these two first-class mages, Akshu. I'm not gonna lie guys, when it comes to the humor for this scene specifically, I do like the manga a little bit better, and more specifically it just came down to like this panel, as Serie does seem a little bit more annoyed, but they didn't really drive home any kind of punchline there. It's not really a complaint, but just a preference of style. But I do like what the anime did in these upcoming comedic scenes, as we get a brief beginning of how Genau and Methode became partners. Genau goes on this mindset of good people die without obtaining the bigger objective, while he sees himself as a bad guy. We get more anime only scenes to drive home the point of how good of a person his partner is, and honestly makes perfect sense as to why Serie partners someone like Methode to balance someone as cynical as Genau out. And who is the actual comparison here for Genau's partner, who was a radiant personality that made friends all across town, learned from random masters, and played the older brother role in every town that they were in? It is Stark. This is a major character developing conflict that Genau's character is in, because he believes in a more pragmatic and tactless approach. Being cold and being less emotionally attached does what? Accomplishes the mission, which is usually the greater good in some people's eyes. People that like fighting cannot be a decent person, and people that are sent to the Northern Plateau are usually mages that like fighting like a Ubel. Methode and Genau questioning why they became partners is also the same situation. Megane questions why he is partners with Ubel in the Foundation Festival arc. For Genau and Methode, it becomes obvious why they are partners, but Serie does say something contradictory, while in Ubel and Lan's case, she gives them a more direct answer. Genau at least doesn't have a lack of self-awareness to tell Methode to not be like him. But in reality, we know there is some good in there, even as the arc began. As much as this story centered around Genau, Methode, Stark, and Fern, it is still providing much insight into Serie's conflict as the leader of the Continental Magic Association and how she sees the world. In a way, she's almost reaching a crossroads of changing to accept more of Flamme's point of view and how magic should be distributed to the world. Or is the reason why she created the Continental Magic Association just about 50 years ago was to regulate and still gatekeep magic? Another little difference from the manga to the anime is that they have their meeting inside the building rather than outside, which makes a little bit more sense, because what if you get hit with a stray Zoltrak? As Methode explains that there were 4 monsters in the main force that attacked the village. One of them is a demon general. Here we have a definition of what a demon general today would mean. To put it simply, they are basically an equivalent to a martial arts master that spent their entire life, and in this case for demons, centuries, mastering their abilities. And by this point, a longer life often means more mana they have accumulated. Just ask Demon Anya Forger. Like it makes sense for Serie to be like an all-powerful god, the same case could be made for demon warriors, in which many of the demon generals were stronger than even Aizen. Another important tidbit of information about these demon generals is that their physical appearances look a lot less human-like, meaning another disadvantage for humans to fight something that they have never seen or could even practice for, like this 4-sword wielder. And here we have it, a demon child. We know what happened last time a demon child came along. Even Himmel the Hero did the unthinkable and... One of the most interesting aspects of what we know about demons is that they grow up on their own. They don't have traditional families like humans do, often growing up by themselves as a child. So this character, who has her own side story in novel 2, in which there will probably be an English translation for later on in the year, is playing more of a traditional follower to Revolte. Usually demons operate on fear alone to get everyone to comply, but this relationship between Revolte and the child seems a lot more mutual. Another major aspect to this demon child character is how she mirrors someone we don't want to know at all, Solitaire. The anime had extra dialogue to foreshadow her character because of how fascinated the demon child was with studying humans. We even get an extra glimpse of the Fog and Sword demon. The anime has tried to reveal them a little bit more because in the manga they kinda just show up. If there is one thing that is really enhanced in the anime, is how menacing Revolte comes off. The voice actor Miki Shinichiro, aka Zamasu of Dragon Ball Super, is a great cast for hearing someone that wants to yeet ninjas. In many ways, and only by a few sentences that Divine Revolte spoke, he continues the motif that humans and demons could never understand each other, but they observe what they do and understand that that is just what they do. It's like science and math. We know what it is, but we don't know why it is. This takes us to the chapter 73 adaptation, Encounter Battle. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Stark acts as the replacement of Genau's partner, as he decides to stay behind, calling out Genau, trying to still protect the dead bodies until the chivalric Order Norm arrives to transport the corpses to the public cemetery down south. For Frieren and the others, they have a chance to run away if a warrior was needed, but Genau is there to protect the sanctity of the dead and will not abandon it. It is exactly the kind of contradiction of Genau that we can all see. It would 100% make sense for him to travel with everyone else to take down all the demons together, because that would actually be the most pragmatic decision to make. But he is protecting the dead himself because he cares. This is where Genau and Stark start to chop it up once again, even adding another scene of bringing firewood. Once again, he attributes being a good guy being a terrible way to survive, re-emphasizing, like with Methode, that he is a bad guy. At this point, Genau is basically actions speak louder than words personified. The perspective and philosophy behind what truly is a good guy is being tested here, because Stark and Aizen's characters are all about surviving out of fear, being that they both ran away as their villages got massacred by demons. Here we have Genau trying to save dead people that he likely still feels attached to, being that it is his home village. In here, we have a little filler moment with Stark thinking about what Frieren said about villagers still seeing the northern plateau as their home, even though crawling would enhance danger, compared to simply just moving to a safer place when the options are there. Here would be where the manga foreshadows the oncoming demon attack, but this episode already includes a bit of chapter 74 when Revolte does attack. And here we have it. Teamwork makes the dream work. It all starts with good communication. So that means,
Can I
pet you? If you can pet a feet goddess, what makes a degenerate midnight gambler like you any different? However, Methode comes prepared. She knows how these thoughts think, and that they would allow them to use their body if you give them what they want. And what Methode has is what Frieren wants, and it is a grimoire that would make a housewife crumble onto their knees and make a goddess of creation believer out of anyone. This time, Frieren tries not to smell the deep depths of a woman with Fern backing her. What a magical thought, and Frieren wins every time. Methode has taken over Fern's strut with double of these. Now, what do we have here? An anime-only moment that has Genau protecting Serie's body and limiting the pets on the head to only 10 minutes a day. But in this moment, Frieren's head now belongs to another older lady with heavies, and she wants what any woman wants, and it's always more. Forget the head, she wants the whole body. Now look at Fern, seething, as Methode has already went body heat to body heat, butt to butt with your man Stark. Now she's going body heat to body heat, swap of chest to chest, skin to skin with your master. Fern pulls the butt to face maneuver to try to reclaim the purity of Frieren, but she gets a wholesome version of a pig roast instead. Before Himmel from beyond the grave gets offended, demons do what demons do. As magical pride is innately demonic, and they reveal themselves without a care in the world that they will be facing 3 powerful mages themselves, except maybe only 2. Nebella Dora, Fog Control. There are some extra super exciting scenes like Methode pulling a Naruto escape and the 2 demons deciding who they want to face. Building upon the Methode lore, there are some special qualities about her that will come up in the next episode or 2. This begins the arc of Fern, fighting on her own again, like against Lugner, as Frieren pulls the young first-class mage to the side as the fog disrupts their vision and mana detection. After being split from Methode, Frieren starts to explain how flying for demons is the same as walking for them, and it's been like that only until 40 years ago. Here is a panel of an NPC demon just floating. From this panel of Frieren acknowledging that Methode has entered a battle against her demon, we get some special animation from the beginning of this battle, except you still have to save the budget for the real fight. And it's a real fight only for first class mages. Frieren is dipping out because F that sh. Fern believes the demon outclasses her, but Frieren in the anime gives a direct explanation of why Fern is better. Fern is a master at the basics, and handling people in this era that could never stop wishing to do, like against Lugner and even Ere, whom she acknowledged as the strongest mage that was participating in the exam. That is where chapter 73 ends, with the fog demon getting ready to pew pew the purple-haired southern lander. Now chapter 74 begins with Divine Revolte. Genau and Stark continue their bro to bro, heart to heart. They even connect over their lady party members being mad at them for late night snacks. More dark and gruesome images are added to the tone and lore of Divine Revolte's abilities of wielding 4 swords forged with his own magic. He has the paradoxical ability to change the weight of the swords, being as sharp as it is, even using the name of Divine Cleaving Swords, which was a borrowed name that could smash a mountain in mythical times. Weapons forged from magic, quite simply, means they kill a lot of people, which leads to techie. Birds are always an ominous choice, and we get some added jarring first-person perspective of the impending danger right from above. Stark is always a good choice for extra battle animation, and it looks like Evan Call cooked up something new for the Divine Revolte battle score. Genau is just standing there still while he tells Stark to avoid direct blows. Stark admits he's not going to be able to protect the both of them, but your boy is hiding his power levels. D-Guard not! Spell to manipulate Niello wings, and the episode ends with the classic Omoshiroi. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I still think the same thing from when I read it, except I do put a little bit more emphasis on the Serie scene because how much those little things can add up later on. But the anime did a good job at just enhancing all the moments between these 3 chapters. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.